The Salem witch trials occurred in colonial Massachusetts between February 1692 and May 1693. The events began when a group of young girls claimed to be possessed by witches and accused several women in the town of Salem of practicing witchcraft. The initial accusations were directed at Tituba, a slave woman from Barbados, Sarah Good, a homeless beggar, and Sarah Osborne, an elderly woman. These accusations sparked a wave of paranoia and fear. As the accusations grew, so did the number of accused individuals. People were arrested and brought to trial based on little to no evidence, often relying on spectral evidence, testimony claiming that the accused person's spirit had appeared to the witness in a dream or vision, and coerced confessions obtained through harsh interrogations. The trials were characterized by a lack of due process, biased judges, and a fervent belief in the supernatural. 20 people were executed by hanging, 1 man was pressed to death with heavy stones, and several others died in jail awaiting trial. Most of the accused were women, and many had social or economic differences that contributed to their vulnerability. The hysteria eventually subsided as influential figures, including the governor of Massachusetts, began to express doubt about the validity of the trials. Public opinion shifted, and the court started dismissing the charges against those accused. In 1693, the trials were officially ended, and those who were still in prison were released. The Salem witch trials remain a grim reminder of the dangers of mass hysteria, intolerance, and the potential consequences of unchecked fear and fanaticism. The events have been studied for centuries as an example of how societal pressures, religious fervor, and ignorance can lead to tragedy and injustice. The Salem witch trials had profound and lasting effects on the community and the legal system in colonial Massachusetts. The tragedy exposed the flaws in the judicial process and highlighted the dangers of allowing unfounded accusations to dictate legal outcomes. It also raised questions about the separation of church and state, as religious beliefs heavily influenced the proceedings. In the aftermath of the trials, the families of the accused faced social stigma and economic hardships. Efforts were made to compensate the families of the victims, and in 1711, a bill was passed to restore the rights and good names of those who had been accused. However, the scars left by the trials were not easily healed, and it took years for the community to recover. The Salem witch trials have continued to captivate public imagination, inspiring numerous books, plays, movies, and other works of art. They serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of mass hysteria, the importance of due process, and the potential consequences of allowing fear and prejudice to drive decision-making. The trials have also led to discussions about the role of women in society, as many of the accused were women who were seen as challenging the traditional roles and norms of the time. The trials highlighted the vulnerability of marginalized individuals and underscored the need for fair and just legal systems that protect the rights of all citizens. In conclusion, the Salem witch trials stand as a somber chapter in American history, reminding us of the capacity for fear, ignorance, and injustice to wreak havoc on individuals and communities. They serve as a reminder of the importance of critical thinking, tolerance, and a commitment to upholding the principles of fairness and equality. While the Salem witch trials were a localized event, their impact reverberated beyond colonial Massachusetts. They continue to be studied by historians, sociologists, and psychologists to understand the factors that contributed to the hysteria and how similar patterns of fear and injustice can arise in different contexts. The trials have prompted discussions about the intersection of religion and law, the dangers of groupthink, and the role of authority figures in maintaining order and protecting individual rights. They also highlight the power of storytelling and rumors in shaping public perception and driving social dynamics. Over time, the Salem witch trials have become a symbol of caution, urging societies to be vigilant against the manipulation of fear, the erosion of civil liberties, and the importance of valuing diversity and inclusion. They underscore the need for a strong legal system that upholds principles of fairness and due process, even in times of uncertainty and anxiety. In the end, the Salem witch trials serve as a reminder that history is filled with lessons to be learned, and that understanding the past helps us navigate the challenges of the present and shape a more just and equitable future. Certainly, the legacy of the Salem witch trials extends to modern times. The trials have influenced discussions about the nature of justice, human behavior, and the consequences of unchecked power. They have also prompted reflection on the potential for societal norms and beliefs to create a climate ripe for persecution and discrimination. The trials have been referenced in debates about misinformation, moral panic, and the dangers of scapegoating. They offer a cautionary tale about the risks of allowing fear and irrationality to dominate public discourse, reminding us of the importance of critical thinking and open dialogue in maintaining a healthy society. In literature and popular culture, the Salem witch trials continue to inspire exploration of themes related to innocence, guilt, mass hysteria, and the dark aspects of human nature. The events have served as a backdrop for countless stories that examine the dynamics of power, authority, and the complexities of individual and collective behavior. Overall, the Salem witch trials remain a haunting reminder of the capacity of humans to both perpetrate and endure injustice. They underscore the value of historical understanding and empathy in fostering a society that respects individual rights, diversity, and the principles of fairness. As time has passed, the Salem witch trials have become more than just a historical event. They are a symbol of the dangers of intolerance and prejudice. The trials have prompted conversations about how societies can learn from the mistakes of the past to build a more inclusive and just future. Efforts have been made to remember the victims of the trials and honor their memory. Memorials, museums, and educational initiatives have been established in Salem and beyond to provide a space for reflection on the events and their significance. The lessons of the Salem witch trials are relevant not only in America but also globally. They encourage societies to be vigilant against the manipulation of fear, the suppression of dissenting voices, and the erosion of individual rights. The trials remind us to value diversity, protect the vulnerable, and ensure that justice is upheld for all, regardless of the prevailing beliefs or fears of the time. Ultimately, the story of the Salem witch trials serves as a powerful reminder of the ongoing need for awareness, compassion, and a commitment to upholding the principles of equality and justice in the face of societal challenges. Absolutely, the enduring significance of the Salem witch trials lies in their ability to spark ongoing conversations about human behavior, justice, and the complexities of society. They urge us to confront the darker aspects of our history and human nature, and to question the factors that can lead to discrimination, persecution, and injustice. The trials serve as a reminder that even in times of uncertainty and fear, it's crucial to uphold the principles of due process, fairness, and the protection of individual rights. They encourage us to critically examine the information we receive, avoid the spread of false accusations, and promote an environment where open dialogue and understanding prevail over intolerance and hysteria. By acknowledging the lessons of the Salem witch trials, we can work toward creating a more inclusive, empathetic, and informed society. The story of the trials prompts us to actively challenge our assumptions, engage with history, and strive for a better future where the mistakes of the past are not repeated.